Hello, this is Callan Bentley. Welcome back for another Smart Figure. After watching this video, you should be able to describe where the Bonneville salt flats are, how they formed, and why they're important. So, salt is a common substance that we use almost every day. Table salt is dominated by the mineral halite. Halite is a very simple mineral. It's basically sodium chloride. Classic example of ionic bonding that we discussed when we talked about minerals. Rock salt is the rock that is dominated by halite, and rock salt is usually not pure halite. There are some impurities in there as well. In this example, the rock salt is slightly orange because of clays. We mine rock salt to use for melting snow on roads, for curing foods, and also for putting in salt shakers on the table so that we can make our French fries taste better. One place in the United States where there's a lot of salt is the Bonneville Salt Flats. In the map up here in the upper right, you can see the state of Utah. Salt Lake City is the little dot on that map, and then the Bonneville Salt Flats are this little orange blob over here in western Utah. The large photo shows what the Bonneville Salt Flats look like. You can see that they are very flat and that there is a lot of salt there. And the picture of the race car down here in the lower left is a reminder that the Bonneville Salt Flats were where the U.S. land speed record was set in the 1970s, 630 miles per hour, over 1,000 kilometers per hour. Since then, another salt flat in the Black Rock Desert has been home to a slightly faster speed from a British team. Well, the Bonneville Salt Flats are called the Bonneville Salt Flats because they were deposited at the bottom of an ancient lake called Lake Bonneville. And the modern-day Great Salt Lake, for which Salt Lake City is named, is a remnant, a shrunken remnant of Lake Bonneville. So Lake Bonneville existed during the Pleistocene, call it 2 million years ago or so, and the Bonneville Salt Flats basically were deposited at the bottom of that lake as the climate changed and the lake dried up. Now, looking elsewhere on this map, you can see that Lake Bonneville was not alone, but that many of the basins of the Basin and Range province had large lakes in them. If you were to go to one of those lakes, like let's say this big one over here in western Nevada, what sort of rock would you expect to find at the bottom of where that lake once existed? Hopefully you answered good old rock salt. Yes, indeed. Rock salt is very common in the basins of the Basin and Range province. There are very few places where it's present in as wide an area as the Bonneville Salt Flats, but this economically important mineral is indeed widespread. Thanks very much for your attention. This has been another Smart Figure.